Welcome, everybody. Today's a little different. It's just me. But with today being August 25th and the last weekend prior to Labor Day weekend, just before the start of the NFL season, a lot of teams, including our own, are doing their fantasy football draft. And I figured, let me see if I can help you guys out. So, most leagues, not unlike our own, is a standard league, which is going to be a PPR league. We have 10 teams. And I figured I'll do a mock draft just so not only can I help myself out for my picks, but also to give you guys an idea of how the concept is. There are things that you need to pay attention to. There are concepts that you want to have going forward when you go into your draft. Strategies, and this is kind of very off the cuff, but I wanted to give you guys some of that. Number one, in our league, we have a standard league being that we have that your starters are going to be one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a flex player, a tight end, a defense, and a kicker. And then you've got, I think, 6 to 8 bench spots that you can hold on to. But when you draft, you got to keep in mind, this is just a draft. This is the beginning. It's a good foundation. But this is not the team that you're going to be starting in the playoffs at the end of the season. You still have waiver wire pickups. You have injuries. This is where your coaching comes in. So this doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get a good start. A good start could be everything. Different strategies. We have a PPR league, which means a point per reception league, meaning wide receivers have more value than the standard running back. A running back who actually catches out of the backfield will have more value than a running back who is just a rusher. So you always have to keep all of these things in mind when you're drafting. And a running quarterback would have more value than a quarterback who stays in the pocket. But you got to remember, there are a lot of things to remember. But one of the things you remember is that just because you are a fan of the team and a fan of the player, you do not draft with your heart. Personally, being a Jet fan, I try to stay away from the Jets as much as possible. But you know what? Let's get right into it and let me see what I can do with you guys. Okay, guys, so here we are. So one of the common mock drafts that we can do is for if you go to like NFL.com/fantasy, you can go into different leagues. All right. So if we go to the draft center, you get to this, you're going to see where it says mock drafts. You can test your client here. We're just going to click mock drafts and they'll give you a list of mock drafts. These are in real time. This is when they're starting. This is what type of a roster it is going to be. This is how the scoring. This is if it's a non-PPR league. Draft format would let you know if it's a salary cap draft or if it's a standard draft, which is a snake draft. Now, my league is a 10-team league, so I want to limit it to 10. If there's a helmet, that means it's already full. So this is standard, but this one's 12. There's plenty of space. I don't really want a 12. I want to practice for 10. So I'm looking for where, like, this would be perfect here. And this is a 10-team league, and I could join as number 2. Okay, now let me change what I am sharing with you. There we go. So this draft begins in 2 minutes 43 seconds, and this is what you're faced with. This is how you draft. We have the second pick because we picked number 2. This is randomized, but we picked 2. This is your players, your quarterback, your running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, defense, all. You have a queue, you have a chat to talk to people, and this is your roster. So right away, as soon as you get in here, start working on your queue. Okay? Start realizing these are the players. As you hit these flags, it'll put them in your queue. These are the players. Now, once they're in here, you can pick them up. Like, I don't really want Lamb being the number 2. I would pick Hill above Lamb. But that's just me. I want to grab some of these guys. Okay, I have a number 2 pick, so it's going to be a very good pick. Chances are McCaffrey is going to go number 1. After McCaffrey, it's going to be my pick, and then I have the choice of the entire NFL. Now, so with that being said, if McCaffrey goes number 1, where do I draft with my number 2? Could be Hill, Lamb, Chase. Lamb is projected as number 2, but I don't like Lamb. He hasn't even re-signed, hasn't had any practice so far this season. But you want to go ahead and just start working on the guys that you would like to have on your team. And you could change that queue. I'm just putting people in. All right. So we have a minute before the draft. It is a points per reception league. So you already know that this is going to be heavy wide receiver in the beginning, especially. Okay. That also lays weight to the tight ends. McBride is ranked above Sam Laporta. He's ranked above Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. I don't personally buy into that. I think that is something I personally wouldn't do in my ranking. So McBride is like, if I can get him late, great. But Laporta and Andrews would have more value to me. So just keep that in mind. These are players. This is subjective. This is your picks. So let's go back to all because we have 14 seconds. Here's the draft board, by the way. We're picking number 2. So like I said, McCaffrey's probably going number 1, and then we're going to be on the clock. And the clock is 30 seconds. And here we go. Okay, so on the clock is team number 1.
Now on the clock.
And McCaffrey has just picked it up. So who do we pick up? I want to say we pick up Tyreek Hill. Now, the bad thing about a snake draft is that if you look at this board, we're 19 picks away before our next pick. That means all of these very good players are going to go here, and then all of these same very good players are going to go here. So we're 16 picks away from picking. Look at all the wide receivers getting picked in a row. There goes the second running back, which is Breece Hall. Robinson. So the top running backs are leaving right away. Back to a wide receiver. There goes Puka. There goes Garrett Wilson. He was one of my sleepers that I wouldn't mind picking up late first round or possibly early second round. Okay, the good thing about if you get a late pick, look what happened for Team 12 here. Team 12 ended up with Barkley and Taylor. So they picked up 2 running backs back to back. They have no wide receiver. But being the fact that they had 2 picks right away, like even Team 11, they got Wilson and Gibbs. They got that wide receiver running back combination that they're happy with. So just because you get a late first round does not mean you can't have that quick turnaround. So we're a couple picks away. There goes Pacheco off. There goes ETN. That's another guy I would have liked to have. Go back to the players now.
Your team is now on the clock.
So you can see that a lot of the top players that I wanted, wide receiver wise, I'm not in love with my picks. I only have 18 seconds. Keep it right. A-Chain, Cook, Mixon. I'll tell you what, I'm going with A-Chain. Because my next pick, I'm going to definitely go wide receiver.
Your team is now on
the clock. They went 2 wide receivers, so I definitely want a wide receiver here. And I got Cooper Kupp, Debo, Devonta Smith, Cooper. I like Cooper. But I love more. I'm taking more. Okay, so I've got 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and now I've got 19 picks to sit back and see who else is going to be off the board by the time I come in. Let's see what we got going on here. get a lot more wide receiver. That's the reason I picked wide receiver. The wide receivers are going to come off fast. But but there's not a lot of running backs. I still need another running back to fill out my starting rotation. Now we have Cook, Mixon, you have Jacobs. I would love to pick up Jacobs. Let me grab him on my cube, put him up. That is my top pick. Okay. Jacobs would be my next pick if he's available to me. That is my top pick. Jones is not bad because especially with their situation. There goes Cook just left. And I do need a flex player, so don't be if my top choices for running back are gone and I have no other choice, I will go ahead and pick up my flex player. I think we just lost. Yep, we just got our first quarterback picked up, which was Josh Allen. All right, I'm one pick away.
Your team is now on the clock.
Good. The running back was just selected, but not my running back. My guy, Josh Jacobs, is there, and that's the guy I want. So we're going to grab him up now. All right. So now when you go to our thing here, we go to our roster. We've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. We need a flex and a quarterback.
Your team is now on the clock.
Boom. Stephon Diggs is the top player available to me. That's what it's telling me. Or Higgins, Mahomes. I can go quarterback. If I don't go quarterback now, I'm going to have to wait. But I got to pick up a flex player. 15 seconds to do so, guys. And I think I am going to pick up Diggs. All right, so at least now I have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. I need a tight end, a defense, a kicker, and then on my bench, I've got 6 slots to fill. And there's plenty of quarterbacks left available. They've literally only picked up 2 quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Mahomes just went off, so Mahomes now has 3. And you got Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson, the top quarterbacks are coming. But guess what? You got 32 teams. Quarterbacks, that's why you don't see, like, Mahomes went in the 5th round, guys. Keep that in mind. It's not that big of a deal. If I end up with Trevor Lawrence or if I end up with Dak Prescott, these guys are still going to put up just as many points in round 6 or 7. I'm not going to go out of my way to pick up a quarterback round 1 or 2. I'd rather get those skilled positions that I need to have on my team. Let's see where we are now. See, now some teams will even go along the lines, and I'm going to show you. They'll even go along where they start picking up the bench. This is ours. Let's stick with ours because we're about to pick in a couple minutes. Like I said,
your team is now on the clock.
I have the quarterbacks, but look who's available to me. Prescott, Love, Daniels, Purdy, all these great guys. I need a tight end. Kittle is there. Ingram is there. And Njoku is there. Okay? And you know what? Kittle is a great pick. I'm going to pick up him now. I'm not worried about quarterback.
Your team is now on the
Ferguson.
clock.
Okay, good. See, if I didn't pick him up then, I wouldn't have got him. I still don't have to pick up a quarterback. I can pick up Tua all the way down here later in the draft. There's plenty of guys, but you know what? I'm going to pick up a guy I feel actually pretty strong about, which is, I think Tua is going to put up a lot of points throwing the ball. All right. So when you go to our roster, I still need a defense, a kicker, and I got all my bench. Guess what? I'm not picking up a kicker. Not till late. If I get a chance to pick up a defense, depending on how the draft, because I'm sure some of these people are going to start picking up kickers. I might not even pick up a defense depending on what everybody else is doing. I may wait another round. I may not pick up my defense till round 10. Just so I can get a better bench. Look at this guy over here picking up a kicker. I think that's the, and it's because they're auto drafting instead of picking up. That's why all these kickers are coming off. Who cares about kickers? That is such a waste of a pick. All kickers are going to give you the same thing, guys. I'm 4 picks away. And I've got some great players available to me. I got Keenan Allen, Zay Flowers.
Your team is now on the clock.
Okay, so I have my tight end. I'm going to go ahead and start picking up my bench. And one of the bench players that I really love is Worthy. But I can get him late. So let me go ahead and get my defense now. I can get the top defense I want, which is the Chiefs. I know I just went against myself there, but it was because I could pick the top of what I wanted.
Your team is now on the
There
clock.
we go. So now I go ahead and I'm going to start working on my bench. And I'm going to go with Worthy. Worthy I'm in love with here. I think highly of him. No, wait. Keon Coleman. This is where you have to be very flexible and be willing to jump and grab guys if they fall to you. Keon Coleman should definitely not made it to round 9. And you see everybody's picking their defense. I was able to jump ahead and pick it on round 8. Look at all the defenses going in a row. So if I didn't get the defense that I wanted, I probably wouldn't have gotten them in round 10. That's why I jumped ahead and changed what I said. You have to be flexible this late in the draft. And you can see almost every single team is just picking defense. Now, mind you, when you're in your league, this will not be auto draft. This will be your actual friends and the guys in your team, right? So now everybody's going back to bench. I already started my bench by picking up Keon Coleman, and I skipped over kicker. So I've got the advantage here because they're all picking their top choices for the bench, and they're all wide receivers. Keon Coleman would have already been gone by this point. Okay. And being the fact that on my defense, on my bench, I started with a wide receiver, I'm going to want a running back on the second one. Because I like to balance it. Wide receiver, running back. Wide receiver, running back. But if an amazing wide receiver falls
Your
to me,
team is now on the clock.
I have like Worthy, who will not be there on the next go around. But if I pick up Worthy now, that means I'm going to be behind on the running backs, and I'm going to have to pick up running back later. We're going to take that chance, and I'm going to go Worthy right now because he won't be there if I don't pick him up now.
Your team is now on the clock.
Now I need that running back. Here's the thing. Singletary is not somebody I'm in love with, but he is going to get a lot of carries with the Giants this year. So that might be the guy. But Zach Moss is there too, and I love Zach Moss. So that's the guy I'm grabbing with Cincy. He's there to replace Mixon. And I think the reason why they did that is because they honestly feel he's going to get more carries. Solidify your bench. Keep that in mind of who you have. 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. I still need a backup quarterback and a backup tight end, by the way. How many picks to get to me? 13 picks to get back to me. Look, all the running backs that came off. Ezekiel Elliott would have been a good one to keep too. I would have loved to have Thomas on that team. As it comes back around to me, I'm looking for running back. I need another running back. But if I can't get a good running back, I will take a good wide receiver. And then I need a quarterback and a tight end. And it looks like a backup quarterback might be somebody I need to take soon. I like Corley. But look, I got Trevor Lawrence there for me. I like Bowers as my tight end to grab.
Your team is now on the clock.
There we go. So here we are with it. I don't necessarily love my running back options. So I am going to pick up my tight end choice, which is Bowers as my backup. And I'm probably grabbing.
Your team is now on the clock.
I can get Chubb right now, but I don't love Chubb. I'm going to get my backup quarterback now, and I'm going to grab Trevor Lawrence. So with that said, I'm just going to be taking the best player available. I would love another running back, but I didn't love Chubb. Then I'll pick that kicker on the last round, and that would end this draft. But this is not my final team. How many picks am I away? Because I'm telling you right now, this is going to either be the best player available. I would love it to be a running back. And then my kicker here. And that will end the draft. Let's see what we got going on, guys. How many picks are we away? 11 picks. Mind you, our mock draft is going 30 seconds per pick. And the From the Hip league that we're in, it's 90 seconds. So it gives you a little bit more time to think. Could be bad if somebody doesn't show up and it has to auto pick, which sucks. See all the backup quarterbacks which are being taken on this round. That's the reason I took Trevor Lawrence here. Best player available, 2 picks away from me. I'd love a running back.
Your team is now on the clock.
Jerome Ford is the top running back available. Well, Benson, McCloud, look real quick. I like Herbert. I like Herbert. There it is, guys. I filled the team up. I filled the bench up now. So now I go back and just grab the first kicker that comes available to me right here.
Your team is now
It
on the clock.
does not matter. Give me a team that would kick the ball. Seattle, right here. I like this. Seattle's kicking the ball. Either one. Myers. Boom. That's my pick for my kicker. And there you go. My team is complete. Let's finish up. Let's take a look at where we stand. I got Tua. I have A-Chain. I have Jacobs Hill. Here's what I didn't notice about this. I have 3 Dolphin players on my team. I'm not happy about that. It's not that it's bad. I would definitely look to trade out of this somewhere. Maybe A-Chain or maybe a Tua. Because I don't like having too many players of the same team on my team. More I love. I got Kittle. I got Diggs, Myers, Chiefs. I like the starting rotation. And you know what's good thing? Having Tua and Hill means I have the handcuff here. So if Tua throws the pass to Hill.
Thanks for attending the NFL Draft. Best of luck this season.
And he does what he does. Okay, you get double points off that pass. Okay, I like the bench. I got Coleman, Worthy, Bowers. There's a lot of rookies here, and I like that. But as you can see, it's really not hard to draft. And again, keep in mind, this is not your final team. The waiver wire, you have injuries, you have trades. By all means, do what you got to do, but it's very easy to get in. Join a league, have fun. It turns the season into something different. Don't be afraid of it, guys. With that said, I want to thank you all for watching. This is a short video. It's just to help you guys out. Go draft your teams. Enjoy it. I'll see you later.